One of the main things I've realized over my 4 years at UVA is being a member of the lacrosse team, above all else, is an incredible privilege. It's a privilege to put on that uniform and walk on the clock and before games, and it is a privilege to say for the rest of your life that I was a member of the Virginia lacrosse team. Every day we need to remind ourselves that there are thousands of kids out there who would do anything to be in our shoes for just one day.
When I was facing graduation in 2011, I was kind of trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to kind of do something revolved around kids and teaching lacrosse. I just didn't know the avenue to kind of make that reality happen, and I stumbled upon Harlem Lacrosse and Leadership through VLAN, which is Virginia Lacrosse Alumni Network. Alumni just happened to say, hey, here's a program that I heard is doing some good.
Wyatt called me, and very quickly it was clear that he was the type of person we were looking for this job, to go in to an inner city environment and transform these kids' lives.
Next thing I know, I'm living on a couch in New York 2 weeks later and teaching middle school lacrosse to 30 boys in Harlem.
When I went in to join Teach for America, I ended up teaching 7th and 8th grade special ed mathematics, and my kids really struggled in school. They struggled with their behavior, they struggled with the stigma of being in special education, and they needed something that would give them a new identity. And so the principal and I decided to start coaching them in lacrosse.
Our goal, if you were to ask in one sentence, is to use lacrosse to help structure the lives of at-risk middle school kids in Harlem.
Lacrosse is an Ivy League sport. The top schools in the country play lacrosse. It's a really great opportunity for a child from the inner city to get a scholarship to play athletics.
And the first time I walked around the classrooms, I walked around with a shiny stick full of lacrosse gear and said, I'm Coach Wyatt Melzer. I played lacrosse at Virginia. It doesn't mean anything to you guys now, but it might in the future. And this is what I give you if you guys play lacrosse. And that immediately had 40 kids sign up right away.
We got there, he was like, whoever heard of lacrosse? And not many people raised their hand.
He showed us when he won a championship for 2011, the game of lacrosse, and that made me want to play lacrosse even more. My mother didn't even know, she didn't know what to think because she'd never heard of the game lacrosse until I had brought the stick home and showed her videos on YouTube of lacrosse, and she said it looks like a fun game.
Down!
In 2 weeks, he had half of the boys in that middle school on the team in the first 2 weeks, a sport that nobody had ever heard about.
1, 2, 3, go!
The day I got the job, I called my boss and I kind of put him in touch with Dom, and of course Coach Starza jumped on it right away and said, what can I do to help? And I said, well, we want to get our kids down.
I volunteered our services immediately. If there was any way that we could help, I was more than happy to dive in, one, because of Wyatt's involvement, and two, just because it's a great program.
Leading up to that trip, every single day they had mandatory study halls, and they also had to research UVA, Coach Starza, every player on the team, the history of the lacrosse program, the law school, the Black Law School Association, etc., leading up to that trip since September. And I think that even then they were shocked at how beautiful this place was, the opportunities that they saw themselves be able to potentially have.
Walking around grounds, showing the kids where I've been, what I've done. I would just try to use this experience for the kids to say, look at this place, look at what you can achieve if you work hard in the classroom and on the lacrosse field.
The kids' heroes that they watch on TV are collegiate student athletes. So when they come here to UVA, they're meeting, they're shaking hands with, they're getting autographs from their heroes. And their heroes aren't just athletes, their heroes are students who have to do well in school in order to play the sport.
To see their faces just light up when they walked in our locker room and had a chance to meet some guys, and then to see, come and join us for practice and see what the game looks like at this level, for our players to be involved with these kids and to see the influence they have on people this age, and it was a valuable experience for us at the same time.
Oh yeah, Denzel!
And if you're willing to put the time in, and work at it, you can make something of yourself in the world of lacrosse. Lacrosse is a sport in which, if you treat the game with respect, it can be your friend for a long time.
Coach Starza came for our ceremony of giving them their jerseys for the first time. So we had brand new jerseys, and each kid came up one by one, and Coach Starja shook their hand and congratulated them with their new jersey. Wyatt told them that they were going to get to play on the turf field that they had just seen, and these are kids who are not used to playing on concrete. And then Coach Starja stepped forward and said that, and I'm going to be there too. And the kids cheered, and it was a really great moment for them and for the program.
I'm always half joking with these guys, you know. Forget Wall Street, you know. Go be a teacher. Get involved in education and get involved with young people, and to see Wyatt and the influence he's had, and I think it's the kind of thing that, you know, all of a sudden all of our guys are interested in how they can give back in a situation like this.
These trips help set the goals for the kids to understand that, hey, I can get here. If it's going to take a lot of hard work, but it's going to something that I can set myself up to achieve in the future.
I think that what our program is continuing to prove is that you can take a child who is at the bottom of every statistic, who statistically should not be able to graduate high school or middle school or college, and those kids can accomplish great things.
Loud and clear, fellas. Team on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Team!